Hello, this is Paul from Now Gamer.
And this is John from Games DM.
And this is Lawbreakers, which is the next game from Cliff Bleszinski. They're originally talking about this being a free-to-play thing, which I understand it's not anymore. It's not paid for. Now, when he first started talking about this, he was talking about some of the old-school inspirations for it, like Unreal Tournament, Quake, that Quake Free Arena, that type of thing.
Yeah,
watching it myself, it reminded me of Overwatch, Titanfall a bit in terms of its movement, which I guess speaks to the fact that Quake and Unreal are starting to inspire other games maybe as well, but is that a fair sort of comparison of what you've played?
Yeah, I think so. I think Bleszinski's kind of addressed the fact that he's essentially launching this game right in the middle of Battleborn and Overwatch being a thing, and Doom coming back. It does sort of feel like there's a lot of the same type of thing happening.
Yeah.
What Lawbreakers is trying to do, I think that separates it a little bit, is one, it's got a slightly more realistic art style. It's not quite so cartoony as some of the other shooters that are coming out. And the other key thing they've got is these sort of low gravity and zero G elements to the game. So basically, it's set in a world where a cataclysm has taken place. Gravity on Earth is a bit messed up in places. That's something that industry and commerce has taken advantage of because they can develop all these new technologies. But it's also an interesting playground for criminals to get away with things in. And so it's Law versus the Breakers. And it's one-for-one class matching. So unlike something like Overwatch, where every single character is very unique, even if they might be slightly similar in terms of class, in Lawbreakers they are identical from one side to the other. So you'll have, say, the Enforcer, which is like your classic kind of merc, sort of heavy gun guy.
Right.
They will look completely different on the Law and Breakers side, but they're, in terms of their weapon and their skill set, identical.
Okay.
So it's a perfectly balanced type of system.
So that's kind of like the old school shooter thing, I guess. Where the idea is that everyone was equal. So it's about your skill and knowing the map to sort of. Yeah. So what how exactly these low gravity sections? What is that about?
The map we played was called Grand View, which is based on the Grand Canyon. And this is a whole thing about how various US landmarks and sort of tourist attractions have been bought out by corporations and turned into different things. But anyway, this is set in the Grand Canyon, and there's one spot right in the middle of the map, which is where the battery, which plays the role of the flag in this particular game mode called Overcharge, that's where the battery is placed. And in that area, you can sort of leap in this low G environment and just float away. Now, obviously that could create some issues with kind of momentum and movement in that area, but there's a couple of very clever little things they've done, which is kind of why they added the zero G in the first place, I think, which is you can blind fire behind you.
Okay.
Which actually gives you momentum in zero G.
Oh, okay.
So you can fire your gun to make yourself move faster.
Oh, that's cool.
Which is quite a nice little effect.
Yeah.
It also means you can kill people without looking at them.
Yeah.
If you're really you have to be really lucky. But if someone's chasing you, you can actually fire behind you and catch them.
Yeah. I like that.
Which is a nice little idea, particularly if you're using a rocket launcher with the Titan class.
Yeah.
It could be pretty destructive. So that's a really clever little thing. So even a slow-moving character like a Titan, which is just your classic heavy type, can actually move through zero G really fast if they're firing rockets and things to kind of boost them around. But then, of course, they've got a character like on the Law side, the character's called Maverick, and it's more like exactly what the name would suggest. It's a kind of almost like a fighter pilot type character, but they've got a jetpack, so they can fly around the map really fast. And in zero G, they're incredibly effective because they're much more maneuverable than anybody else. But low armor, less damage from the weapon, that kind of thing. So that's kind of where they get their balancing from.
The abilities seem quite important as well, because I've seen some stuff like a kind of grappling hook device you can use to swing around.
Yeah,
so it seems
assassin,
like the characters are quite distinct in terms of abilities.
Absolutely, yeah. The assassin's a very cool class. Again, low armor, but quite effective in melee. Really dangerous. I played lots of the Titan when I was playing the game, just because I'm sort of like having that ability to be a bit of a bullet sponge and last in the game a bit longer. But coming up against a fast-moving assassin at close range was absolutely devastating. And that's the thing with the game, is there's so much verticality. You don't know when the assassin's coming, because they can use this whip to kind of launch themselves around the map as a grappling hook. They can go under the map, over the map.
Yeah.
And they could be coming from anywhere. So you've really got to be aware of yourself in this sort of 360 environment. And the assassin is very, very cool.
Okay. And from what I can, do we know yet? Is it just like you've got your abilities and that's it? It's not like there's kill streaks in a Call of Duty or like different loadouts, different weapons and stuff. From what we know, is it just you pick your characters and that's what you get?
Yeah. So
you use those.
while the characters on either side of the thing are identical, it is still a character-driven shooter. So, yeah, there's no real leveling up in that respect. What you do get is a kind of cooldown on your abilities. So there'll be I think each character has like a super ability which needs to be charged during the course of the game. And you might get 2 or 3 uses out of it depending on how long the match lasts. So yeah, you got those little things, but yeah, you don't necessarily have that kind of kill streak type thing going on. You do get kind of heads up when you're on a kill streak and you're doing well. Yeah. Everyone else will be told about it. So there's that kind of element to it.
Okay. And how does it feel in terms of how it plays? It looks very fast paced. It looks kind of Titanfall-esque. Is that the kind of? Yeah,
no, it's very fast. It is very fast paced, and the traversal element is really, really good. Particularly if you're playing as the Maverick character, and you can just fly around. But even say if you play as a Titan, it's a bit slower. But there are lots of nice paths that kind of suit different play styles and different speeds. And when you're playing Overcharge, which is essentially their capture the flag, it's quite nice. When you die, you can respawn as any character you want to. You can just reload as a different character at any point. So when you don't have the battery, which you need to try and get back to your base, you want to try and move as fast as possible to get to the place where you're going. When you do have the battery, maybe you start loading yourself up as a Titan to defend it as hard as possible. And so it's a really good back and forth with the battery, because once you get it in your base, it starts charging. You need to get to 100% and then defend it for 20 seconds. But if it's stolen, the charge remains. So if you can get it to 99% or even 100%, and if the enemy takes it and gets it back to the base, they only have to defend it for 20 seconds and they've got it. So it creates this amazing drama at the end of matches, and that's really what they're going after, is these big dramatic moments in matches, almost like a sporting event. And there's definitely kind of an esports spin to what they're trying to achieve. And that makes it really interesting. So I think hopefully that's going to be on all the matches they do and in all the game modes they do.
Yeah.
But certainly for what people are going to be seeing in their sort of their first alpha and beta testing they're doing, you're going to see the grand view in this battery mode.
Okay, well, it sounds like it's got some good ideas anyway. Sounds like it could be good, so it's worth keeping an eye on.
Yeah, definitely.